not what we expected of him. He just came back at the Survivor Series, and then he was in a Royal Rumble, and he came in number 27, and he's hurt in his first match back on TV. I know he did some tour. I know at the holiday tour he had a match with Dominic Mysterio. I'm talking about live televised that we can see a recording back of. And it's the first major event, and he's hurt, and now he's out. So this is a really, really bummer that he's hurt. But I see that it's just been, it seems like history repeats itself. I don't know. CM Punk, this is not his first go around, unfortunately. For guys who follow CM Punk, and I followed CM Punk before he came back, he had a injury before. He had a torn tricep while he was the AEW World Champion. Now, as you know, CM Punk's in AEW for what? Year and a half, if you want to count the times actually there, not the injury and suspension with the media scrum in 2022. When he was one of his runs for the AEW World Champion, his first run, he held the belt, I believe, 3 times. He said 3 times, 2 or 3 times. But anyway, in his first run, he was injured. He had a foot injury, and the second was the torn tricep. I believe that he originally got the torn tricep in AEW, and I think it just got re-aggravated and definitely triggered during the Royal Rumble. Says it right here. It says that, hey, let's read this part here. Punk's AEW career has been marred by injuries as well as aforementioned backstage scuffles. During his first run as AEW champion, Punk suffered an injured foot that forced him to take time off. Then the second run, as I just mentioned, his second AEW championship run ended after a backstage altercation with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, which is at the media scrum. They're both on-screen talent, executive vice presidents. And it says here, get the whole thing. It says that after Punk was stripped of the title, he underwent surgery for a torn tricep. Now that was back in 2022. Fast forward, we in 2024. So I think it's got re-triggered that injury. That's why I think it's happened. So I think that's what's going on with CM Punk. He's been injured before, and it's just history repeats itself with CM Punk. And I think, like I said, with the injured tricep, he won't be able to attend WrestleMania 40. And it's because he's had a history of this injury. He had a history of it. He was the AEW World Champion while he had a torn tricep. So CM Punk is, I think he's re-aggravated an injury that he previously held before. That's what I think is going on with CM Punk. It's unfortunate, but he's going to be out for a while. And I believe, with that being said, it's not a good look for CM Punk right now. We got to remember, despite how popular CM Punk is, despite how good he is in the ring, after all these years later, CM Punk is not a spring chicken anymore as far as athlete goes. CM Punk is 45 years old. He's 45. I mean, he's not in his 20s and 30s no more. He's not, like I said, that's a lot, of that wear and tear. And I thought at first, we could say CM Punk took all those years off. He took 7 years off after he left WWE before he arrived at AEW. It doesn't even matter. It's just the wear and tear he had on his body all those years before he left WWE. And like I said, he went to AEW first. That wasn't a great business move. I understood why he did it because he still had animosity with WWE at the time. And Vince McMahon was still around. But CM Punk's not getting any younger. That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. He's not getting no younger. And injuries are going to only get worse and worse as he get older. I mean, all the guys in the 40s, they all had major injuries. Look at Randy Orton. He's came back from a back fusion surgery. Look at John Cena, who's set to retire soon because all the wear and tear, all the years he was wrestling. Which is why he's not wrestling like that anymore. And then we have guys. We have a few guys like AJ Styles, LA Knight, who's in their 40s, and AJ Styles even had a recent injury. Kofi Kingston had a recent injury with an ankle injury. I mean, when wrestling, guys do wrestle longer now with the technology we have. And of course, most of these wrestlers are not bodybuilder build types anymore. But still gonna get injured. Look at Bryan Danielson, AEW. He gets injured all the time. He's also in his 40s. So this 40s is something to definitely look at. It's something to look at for wrestling. It's rough. You're doing all that running around. You're jumping. You're on the top rope. You're doing all these moves. You're bouncing all around. They travel from city to city. In this case, these days, country to country, because wrestling has become international. The traveling and the moving, it takes wear and tear for so many years. And it's caught up with CM Punk. Like I said, I remember when he got injured, said it here, he injured his foot. So he already had a foot injury. As well as his, torn pec that he had the first time. But I believe, like I said, since he does have that injury, this is the second time he torn his pec. And like I said, he's going to miss WrestleMania because of it. And I believe that, like I said, as much as I like CM Punk, the $1 million question is, now I mentioned the injuries, his current one, and then his past injuries. WWE and AEW both. Should he even ever hold the world title again? And I don't think he should, because the last time he held the title, as you see in his thumbnail here, he had to vacate it due to injury, or he got caught, he was suspended the second time. He got hurt then too. CM Punk has got injured every time he's held the AEW world title, and I don't think it's best for business to have him do that in WWE. WWE is the biggest, as we know, it's the biggest wrestling company, and they're definitely bigger now with the Netflix deal and being international. We got Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia next month. So, but I just don't think he should win a whole world title again. Not if he didn't get hurt so much, I would say yeah.